What's up? Welcome to your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Wednesday, the Humping Day edition, October 11th, 2023. Let's get into it. Hey, right off the bat, you know I'm going to ask you to do this, but as people are stumbling in the door here to this here fine program, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Also, if you would subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated too. So how's everybody feeling today? Feeling good on a hump day? Recovered from last weekend, getting ready for a trip to the middle of Indiana. Yeah, me too. Gosh. So I'm loading up the show here. See my lovely chatting friends. All right, so we're talking a ton of recruiting today. Oh boy. Okay, so right off the bat, we got a breaking news segment. This goddamn light is right in my eyeballs. It's way too strong. Anyway, all right, we got a breaking news segment. We got a commitment, 2024, still trying to wrap up this class. But today we got a commitment from safety out of Florida, Leroy Roker. No confirmation yet on any relation to Al Roker, but we can only hope for the best. I don't know what the best is, but we'll take it. Leroy Roker is a 3-star. He's a .8552, number 121 safety in the class, number 173 prospect in Florida. He's from Bishop Vero in Fort Myers, Florida, 6'1", 170. He just made his official visit this past weekend with his parents and cousin. It was a Saturday through Monday kind of official visit. We touched on it on Monday's Daily Blitz. So I like this guy. He's a 2-sport athlete, which you love, a 3-sport actually. He also played basketball, ran track. In his basketball days, he averaged 17.1 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 4 assists, 2 steals per game. And that was as a junior. He has scored over 1,000 career points in basketball in varsity competition. So last year in 2022, he played both running back and defensive back at Fort Myers, Canterbury. Now this year he transfers into Bishop Vero. Now, in his first game, he scored a 70-yard touchdown reception and had 5 tackles, 2 picks, and a PBU in a 56-21 win over Port Charlotte. Those dirtbags in Port Charlotte ain't shit. Just kidding. So far this season, he has the 2 picks and 15 solo tackles. He did have this to say about the Buckeyes. He said, Ohio State is a great program. I really appreciated it when they offered me. I really appreciated it when Coach Eliano came out and watched me practice. So good get. We'll see what kind of boost he gets here in the rankings. I assume he's not going to stay a 3-star. So probably a low 4 somewhere in there, but add him into the mix here in this 24 class with the 4-star safety Jalen McClain out of New Jersey. That makes 2 safeties. Probably puts us at our max for safeties. I know that they wanted more, but I don't know if there's anybody even out there we're taking at this point. So add Roker to the mix, and I know that it probably took down our national ranking a bit, but he'll climb back up there once they reset the rankings and stuff. So not a big deal, but I feel good about it. We're getting warm bodies, and we're also on commit watch this Saturday for Blake Woodby. So check that out. He's having a big party, like a 3-hour party on Saturday, kind of overlapping the Ohio State game. So he's going to make the announcement at some point between like 2 and 5 or something. So I don't know. We'll get it when we get it, I guess. Hope he's watching the game. But he is on commit watch for the Buckeyes. We got a crystal ball in for him. So let's talk about how the future Buckeyes performed over this past weekend. Quarterback the 4-star Langston Hughes quarterback, Air Noland, got another W on Friday. They beat Dallas East Paulding. I have no idea where that's at. Dallas, Georgia. Okay. 54-29. But Air Noland went off 14 of 22, 273 yards, 3 TDs, also had 2 carries for 20 yards and a rushing touchdown. So getting it done through the air, land and sea, all the way around. Good job, Air Noland. All right, 2025, 4-star quarterback Tavian St. Clair had a nice explosive Friday night as well. That's what she said. Future Buckeye had 3 passing touchdowns, and their offense put up over 400 yards. So great night on Friday for St. Clair, TSC, as we're going to call them here, right? All right, let's talk running backs here. The 4-star from San Antonio, where you been all year? James Peoples made his long-awaited return to the gridiron Friday. He made a statement with 13 carries, 176 on the ground, and a TD. So feeling good. Glad he held out and came in strong with his first game of 2023. Next up, the 4-star running back out of Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas, Jordan Lyle. He had a nice they had a good win as a team, but not a great stat line for him. He just had 2 carries and 35 yards in a 58-0 win. The 3-star running backs, SWD, Sam Williams-Dixon, they beat Grove City 48-10 on Friday. Don't have any stats for him on that game. Wide receivers, the 5-star legend, movie star, Jeremiah Smith out of Shamadan Prep, had 5 catches for 80 yards and 1 touchdown in a 55-20 win. Rather boring performance for him. Most other wide receivers would kill for that stat line. Going to Indiana, 5-star New Haven wide receiver Mylan Graham did not dress for his game last week. Probably held out with a minor injury. 4-star St. Louis Christian Brothers wide receiver Jeremiah McClellan. They beat Kirkwood, Missouri, 56-7 on Friday. He had 2 touchdowns in that win. Jumping ahead, 2026 4-star Cincinnati Withrow receiver Chris Henry Jr. had 3 catches, 56 yards, and 2 touchdowns in a 46-6 win on Friday. Tight ends, you got the 4-star from Chattanooga, Max LeBlanc. He was on a bye. And then the 4-star Cleveland Glenville tight end Demarion Witten scored a touchdown in a loss. Glenville goes down on Friday. Can't say that very often. Offensive line, you got the 4-star tackle Ian Moore out of New Palestine, Indiana. They beat Newcastle 35-7 on Friday. They paved the way for 396 total yards of offense, so moving the ball up front. And then you got the Armstrong twins, the 4-stars out of Lakewood, St. Ed's. They won 35-15 on Saturday. And they won 3 in a row, by the way. Getting it done. Let's switch over to the defense, starting with the D-line here. The 5-star Chicago St. Ignatius D lineman Justin Scott. They won 50-28 on Friday. He was all over the field making plays for the Wolfpack defense, and they kept their opponent, Marian Catholic, out of the end zone in the 4th quarter. 5-star Buford D lineman Edric Houston was on a bye last week. 3-star Virginia defensive lineman Eric Mensah had 9 tackles and 3 sacks in a win. Yeah, don't call him a 3-star. Shit. Take those stats. Linebackers. Let's talk linebackers. 4-star from Big Walnut, Garrett Stover did not dress last week, but 4-star Lucas Lovejoy linebacker Payton Pierce did dress, and he blasted some dudes in the face. 10 tackles, 63-0 win last week. 10 tackles in a high school game. Wow. Legit. All right, let's talk corners here. We got the 4-star out of Springfield, Aaron Scott Jr. They lost a close one to Centerville on Friday. Teams are still throwing away from him, not even looking at his side of the field, but he is making his mark as the Wildcats quarterback. So 4-star Cleveland Glenville corner Bryce West had a few tackles on Friday. They lost to Akron Hoban. So bummer there for him. Then you got the last corner here, 4-star out of Chandler, Basha in Arizona, Miles Lockhart. They barely got by with a 45-44 overtime win, and they typically don't allow that many points. That was the most this year. Safety, 4-star out of West Orange, Seton Hall Prep. Jalen McLean had 10 tackles in a win this past weekend. So getting it done. Let's check on the chat, and then I got some more shit to get into here. Oh, it's a quiet hump day in the chatter box. How are you guys doing here? See, Billy is already complaining about paying for cock. Not surprised. You'd be surprised, Billy. $5.99 is actually a deal for CAC. Anyways, good to see you, Billy. Your shirt's on the way, by the way. PC says go Bucks. Billy says go Bucks. Billy says he's supposed to be long and rangy like a true free safety. Yes, that's Leroy Roker. I'm gonna have to really catch myself and be careful that I don't say Al Roker. I know it's coming. I know it's gonna come. That's what she said. What else here? PC says safety from Florida. I'll take him. Even if he's a 3-star multi-sport athlete, sounds good to me. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Billy, Iowa was high on him. I thought he was going to commit there. They have the reputation for recognizing safety talent, Billy says. That's true. Yep. PC, what is the position, star ranking, and state for would-be? Oh, I have that. You obviously haven't been listening, PC. Just kidding. So he is. Let's go down here. 5'11", 180. He's out of Maryland. St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. He's a high 4-star, a 9.647 rating, nationally ranked number 79 in the class, number 9 corner, number 4 in his state of Maryland. He was just on campus this past weekend for the Maryland game. So catch 22. Billy says 15.44. All right. PC says Mensa 3 sacks and 3 stars. Dang, I'll take those in. Yeah. PC agrees. I never paid for cock. And yeah, I've been lacking it lately. Lacking cock. I'm just kidding. So I got some more shit to lay on you guys here. This list of visitors for the Penn State game, but a week and a half away now, is getting long. That's what he said, right? Because it's long. Anyway, here we go. I'm just going to do the 2024s and the 2025s. The 2026s would be like another half hour. So they're going to need like a whole like section of the stadium for all these freaking kids. I don't know how they're going to seat them all. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they can get them in the press box or some shit. So anyway, here we go. This is a bunch of commits and a bunch of targets. We'll start with the 24s. Current commit, Sam Williams-Dixon. Current commit, running back James Peoples. Of course, Sam Williams-Dixon is a running back too. Current commit, Jeremiah Smith. Current commit, Mylan Graham. Current commit, Max LeBlanc. The Armstrong twins, current commits. Now you got Chance Robinson, current Miami commit. This is an official visit for him. Okay. So he's getting all the red carpet treatment. The Arizona D lineman, Deshaun Warner, recent offer from Larry Johnson. This is an official. visit. Florida D lineman Booker Pickett Jr. We've been working on him forever. This is an official for him. Then you got Buckeye commit Edric Houston, the D lineman, Justin Scott, D lineman, and you got recent offer D lineman out of North Carolina, Amaris Williams. Then you got Virginia D lineman, Buckeye commit Eric Mensah, Texas linebacker Payton Pierce, Arizona DB Miles Lockhart, Ohio DB Aaron West, and Ohio DB Bryce West. Aaron Scott, Bryce West. Sorry. I always mash those two together. Anyway, so a huge mix. You're going to have these current commits doing some serious work on these guys, especially the D linemen. We'll see what comes of it. All right, now the 2025s that are going to be attending. We got, of course, written in Sharpie, Tavian St. Clair, the quarterback. He will be on campus. Now you got Florida running back Byron Lewis, California wide receiver Phillip Bell, Florida wide receiver and recent Buckeye commit as well, Javon Boggs, Florida wide receiver Nashawn Montgomery, Ohio tight end Luca Gilbert, Ohio offensive lineman Carter Lowe, Georgia D lineman London Merritt, Ohio D lineman Justin Hill, California linebacker Noah McHale, another California linebacker Nasir Wyatt. Then you got Florida linebacker Elijah Melendez, not Menendez. Melendez is an L in there. Then you got New Jersey linebacker DJ McClary, Ohio linebacker Eli Lee, recent offer, Georgia DB Devin Williams, Maryland DB Fahim Delaney, Ohio DB Trey McNutt, Ohio DB Jameer Scott, Texas DB Devin Sanchez, and Michigan athlete Elijah Dotson. I didn't know Michigan had athletes. Anyway, moving on. Back to the chat. Let's see what's going on. You're welcome for the would-be info PC. And Billy, you're welcome for the shirt. You earned it. Hopefully you can get another one this year. Got what? 7 more games to go. 7 chances. Maybe more. We'll see. Oh, we're getting some people stumbling in, checking out the show. Don't forget, make sure you're subscribed if you're new to the show. Appreciate it. Right. So we hit the recruiting info pretty hard. This 25 class is starting off with a bang, especially if we lock up Woodby. I'm concerned we're not going to have enough space for all the corners, though. I really like Devin Sanchez out of Texas. I really like Dorian Brew. But if we take Woodby this weekend, we're going to take 2 more. Do 2 more want to come in one class? You know, I'm concerned about that. You know, we're taking 3 in this 2024 class or 2023 class. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, 2024 class. We got 3 committed. So are we going to take 3 more in the 24 class, you know, or 25 class? So we go back to back to back, 3 years of 3 corners. It seems kind of dicey, although I know we do play 3, basically a slot corner that Jordan Hancock's playing. So yeah, we'll see. I just hope, I know we're going to end up missing out on one of these, you know, high-end corners. You know, I just named off a bunch of dudes that are coming to visit. Like Devin Williams from Georgia, Trey McNutt, he could play safety, I guess. Sanchez, I assume, is a straight up corner. Dorian Brew, they're saying he might move to safety. I don't know. I hope so. I hope some of these corners are going to move to safety, but then we're going to miss out on a safety or two here or there. But we're taking calls today. We are. Bring them in. Oh, hey, Friday, we're going to have to adjust the schedule a little bit. Friday, I will be attending the Lesbo beach wedding. So that's at like 5 o'clock. Great timing, eh? I told her I have a show. She didn't seem to care. Whatever. But anyways, so we're going to have to do an early afternoon on Friday's show. I'm thinking like 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that. I'm going to have like people visiting and shit. So maybe we'll bring them on, you can meet the friends and family of my wife. I guess by distance, I'm also friends and family, but whatever. So I will keep you guys alerted as to exactly what time we're going to go live, but I'm guessing 12:30 or 1 o'clock, like right after I ate lunch, we'll get in here. My wife's being a major pain in the ass about this wedding. She's like so obsessed with picking people up from the airport. We got a friend staying overnight. We got to meet for all these random events that, it's again, I said this last week. You can tell I'm a little perturbed by this whole event. It's our third wedding, right? PC, we already established that we're taking the over 2.5 more, right? So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox or my bitch moan box, whatever. Anyways, let's check the chat here. You guys have more important shit to talk about than I do. Any news about us and rushing? Oh, he's going to Oregon. Yeah, decommitted, going to Oregon. Buckeyes are not in. Odd that he said he wants to go somewhere where he can win a national championship, but he's going to Oregon. He said that. I don't know. PC says definitely Sanchez and Brew are the top two. That rhymes. Good job, PC. Way to work in a rhyme into the chat. Let's see you do that again. Jeremiah Yoder, what's up, Jeremiah? He says, hey, Joe, I hope you're doing good. I'm great here. We'll be even better with a big Buckeyes win Saturday at Purdue. That's right. They Purdue win games. Like Jeff said on Sunday, just hope and pray that there's not a Tom Rinaldi special about, some poor kid or something like that. Anyways, is Ross-Ade Stadium haunted? PC asks. No, not to me. I think the days of us losing these games we shouldn't, like, take that Oregon game aside because of the defense was straight up trash that year, 2021. But I think the days of losing to these garbage Big Ten teams like Iowa and Purdue are over, long gone. I think we roll. 19.5 point spread is what I saw last. I'll update that if it's changed, but I think we roll easily over these clowns. I've got 5 keys to a Buckeye victory coming out on Friday that it's going to be very offensive focused. It's very offensive because I'm offended by some of the O-line play. Kyle, I don't know, man. I'm a little concerned that he's kind of regressed as well. I don't think you can blame it all on the O-line, but it starts up front always, running game, pass game, everything. So I'm not concerned about Ross-Ade Stadium or the big ass drum or that stupid train or whatever else they want to roll out there. I see they're wearing some special gold unis. Great. You're going to look awesome getting your asses stomped in the mud. PC has a good question here, though. He says, Joe, in your opinion, what's wrong with the offense this year? QB, O-line, or RB play? Of those options, what aspects? Oh, that's a very open-ended question. You'd think I'd be able to hit this out of the park. Well, I think O-line, like I just said, is where everything starts. I think the issues are, I mean, I look at the grades, who's giving up pressures, things like that. And the interior is just playing like trash. And I did not see that coming. I don't know who did, with a 5th-year Matt Jones and a 3rd-year Donovan Jackson, the 5-star. I thought those would be the foundation, the pillars of this O-line, and they would help out, the new guys, the 2 new tackles, new center. I thought they would lean on them on the guards, but no, the guards have been playing like shit along with everybody else. I would say Simmons did not have a penalty last week, so hey, he made a step forward in my eyes, the left tackle. So I'm all for games where he doesn't have a penalty. Now, he did make some mistakes, no doubt, but we can cut down on those penalties on the O-line. I'm all for that. But I feel the O-line playing like shit is affecting the entire game. And then Kyle, it kind of rolls downhill, right, to the running game, to the passing game, where Kyle is, bebopping and scatting around and taking an 18-yard drop. What are you doing there? Probably should have just thrown it at the feet of Chip, take the incomplete pass and move on. But no, he completed it for an 18-yard loss. For a 3rd-year QB, even though he hasn't started any games except that shitty Akron game in 21, I'm really shocked that Kyle was not very poised in the pocket. I don't know what's going on there. He seems to have like happy feet. Maybe it's just strictly he doesn't trust the O-line. He's taken a lot of pressure over the first 4 games, and then this week it looked like he was ready to bail too quickly at times. Made some bad throws. Started off the game, whipped one into the dirt, bounced past to Marv. And he didn't get going till almost the 2nd quarter. But then you can bang on the running backs. I mean, not having a healthy Trey, again, same as last year, not helping things. Then you got Chip. Chip's a good running back, but he's not a Trey. He's not going to hit a home run. Dude's like fucking 230 pounds. He's not going to run a 4.4. He's fast for his size, for sure. And he's tough and he's strong, but we got to get some consistency in the run game. And then Kyle needs to get going early, like start the game on fire. Let me check out the chat here. Billy says, my 2 cents says it's all about our O-line. Fair. PC says quarterback equals accuracy, decision-making, freaking out, question mark. To a degree, yeah. Freaking out is not a good strategy when you're playing quarterback. What I'd like to see is maybe let Kyle pull it down, run a little read option with him, and have him keep it. See what happens. Maybe it gets him into the game quicker. Maybe he gets smacked. I definitely don't want to. I understand why Ryan Day doesn't like running options with the quarterback, because if they do take a strong hit, they could get put on Queer Street. But I think try a little read option. I know he's no Justin Fields, but let's see it once in a while. PC says offensive line equals hands, feet, scheme. Well, I will say, for what it's worth, they did run a toss to the field side for a touchdown with Chip this past game. That's what we're looking for. Run wide to the field side. It rhymes and everything. I could put it on a poster board for you if you want, Ryan Day. Instead of that goddamn stretch to the boundary, they ran a toss to the field. Touchdown. Hey, dude has plenty of green grass to run to and get upfield and score. It's freaking magic. Craziness. PC also says running backs equal vision blocking, rushing into the boundary. Yep. There's a reason why they do it, but defenses have pretty much caught on to it. So they think Ryan Day's thinking here is with running into the boundary is that there's fewer players over there for the defense. The defense is going to have most of their players to the field side, like one or two guys extra. But I don't know. They think they're going to catch the defense off guard. So they run that play. They get like 0, maybe 2 yards at the most. But then they have other plays off of that they're trying to get to. So they're using that stretch to the boundary as a setup play for other shit that they're going to call later in the game. So it's going to look like that stretch to the boundary again. You're going to hear all of Buckeye Nation groan out loud, and then they're going to run like a boot action or some type of play action off of that. Now, great if it works, looks really dumb if it doesn't. So that's the drawback, that's the catch-22 there. Back to the chat here. PC says, I agree about Purdue. I'm not worried about that one at all, but I do want to see much improved offense. Our defense is on point. Not worried about them, but offense, yuck. Yeah, yuck is right. Billy says, I don't know. Kyle played like a dog in the second half. He was okay. Yeah, I would say fourth quarter, he ended the game very strong. He had I think he ended the game with 7 straight completions. Then he missed Ballard on, I think, his last play of the game. So, yeah, he did play well down the stretch when we needed him the most. He gave us his very best. One of my favorite sayings. So, but he did have his negative points as well. See the 18-yard drop. Drop back. Jeremiah says, I still remember Ohio State at Purdue 2002, Craig Krenzel, Michael Jenkins. Yep. Ben Jenkins on 4th down. The Holy Buckeye play to save that season. Yeah. I remember lots of those games that didn't go in our favor. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. This is a different team nowadays. Purdue is, they don't have the same head coach. What was his name? Joe Tiller. They don't have Drew Brees. He's not walking through that door. Hudson Card is not him. So I'm not too worried about that. They lost their best receiver last year. TJ Sheffield's nothing special, in my opinion. The Burks kid, again, good, not great. You can't just let these guys roam free in your secondary, but because they will cut you up if you leave them alone. But they're not going to make our secondary look stupid. So let's check out the chat here. Good point, though, Jeremiah. Yes, 2002 Holy Buckeye play was legendary. Brent Musburger on the call. Holy Buckeye. Billy says, so the questions on the O-line might be Fry. Well, if you go back to Ryan Day's press conference, I highlighted a couple of his quotes in today's show. He at points said we need to coach harder, better. And then at other points, he said that pad level, hand placement, things like that that the players need to work on. So these details, fine details. So he's not really blaming it on the coaching, on Fry, but at times he is kind of blaming the players without saying it out loud, in straight black and white. So a lot of directions to go. To me, it just sounds like they need to work on these fine details like hand placement, pad level, whatever. And then running backs need to have that hit that hole when it's open. Maybe it's not the perfect, gaping wide hole, but when there's a little bit of a crease, you got to take it and hit it. And it sounds like they're not doing that, according to Ryan Day. So it's on everybody, from what he says. But he did say, the three things that they always go back to when there's an issue is it coaching, scheme, or the player. He says the scheme and the plays are fine, but wouldn't he? I mean, that's kind of his baby, right? But he never said it was straight up the players. He just kind of hinted at it. So yeah, to your point, Billy, Fry is under the heat lamp right now, under the magnifying glass for sure. I expect a perfect game this weekend, just to give away one of my 5 keys to a Buckeye victory coming out on Friday. I expect a perfect offensive line game this weekend. So, and that's going against a good pass rushing team. Purdue averages 3 sacks per game. That's legit. Back to the chat here. Billy says the linebackers are making all the stops against our RBs, running backs. O-line ain't getting right. It's not getting to the second level, right? Yeah, that's what they pointed out in the broadcast, and every other podcast is saying too. But that's easy to say that's the issue, but then it's up to Fry to coach up his guys and get them in the proper position, and this has been a problem basically all year. So, Billy, I don't know what TWSS means. PC says, except when it looks like stretch into the boundary, and 95% of the time it's a stretch into the boundary. Yes, that's part of it, right? PC also says that before the season started, I said I wasn't worried about the O-line because we've never had a bad one. Now I'm not so sure. These guys aren't playing well. Will it be fixed? That's the question. Yeah. The problem is it's too late to start benching dudes, right? Please hit that like button when you're coming in, please. Thank you. Or before you leave. Thanks. You can't start benching guys. I know that a lot of times that's what the quick reaction is from fans. So we passed that point. We got Penn State next week. You're probably not going to replace somebody this week against Purdue. It's just you got to coach them up. You got to, if you're going to ride with these guys, if this is your 5 and we're not benching anybody, we're not swapping out people, then it's on Fry. Stand on him. If he says, these are my 5, Ryan Day, I will live and die with them, then okay, great. Then get them to do their fucking job. All right. That's the problem. So Fry's supposed to be one of the best D-line coaches in the country, right? Dude makes a mil a year. He's like number 4 or 5 in the country. So this is on him. Forget the recruiting crap right now on the O-line. He needs to take care of business today with this O-line. We'll worry about the recruiting in a couple of weeks, later on. Get this O-line right. Both sides, offense, running the ball and passing. we need to have a perfect game this week. Again, from the O-line at least. Blake says, but we had some short yardage run issues last year. Yeah, we have. That's been a recurring issue every year since Ryan Day has been here. Short yardage has been a big problem. We don't have a JT Barrett, to run up the gut, QB power. So Ryan Day is a little apprehensive to run QB sneaks, and he doesn't really have a quarterback like a JT Barrett, with some of those running back instincts, fullback type of body, or a Tebow, somebody like that has the body, the legs, the power to get short yardage. So we're trying to do it in other ways, still experimenting with it. I think that I don't agree with some of the formations they're doing, but you got to think if you're going all big in that Bison package where you bring Luke Montgomery in for an extra tight end, and then you bring in Caden Curry in an I formation, put him at fullback, run Chip behind him or Mayan, you would think you'd be able to get 2 to 3, right? That doesn't seem impossible. But again, with this O-line, it's a problem. I go back and forth on the short yardage stuff, and what I would like to see occasionally, not all the time. I'm not a big fan of playing in a phone booth, especially with this offense. This offense is, kind of oriented on its speed, right? So spread them out. Keep your 3 wide receivers on the field in short yardage. Spread out that defense. They got to put a corner on each guy at least, and probably a couple safeties deep. Not super deep, but maybe a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Those safeties are not going to be able to walk up to the line of scrimmage, and they damn sure can't bring in an extra linebacker. So I'm saying occasionally on a 3rd and 3, spread them out, run your normal offense, but obviously you're running shorter routes, to get the first down. Something I would consider trying. So, yeah, but back to Billy's point, we've had short yardage issues since Ryan Day has been here as the OC. Brian Money, what's up, man? Hey, I replied to you, told you how to get your shirt. I can tell you again, you go to thebuckeyecast.com, pick out a t-shirt or a hat, send me the name of the shirt, the color, the size, and where you want me to send it. That's what I need from you. Ken Smith, this O-line is hurting because they lost the best tackles since Payton Pierce. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, losing DeWand and Pierce definitely hurts, but you can't cry over that. It's on to the next. We got 2 new guys. Let's get the job done with these new guys. And again, if Justin Fry in fall camp said, Ryan Day, these are my 5, I'm going with them, ride or die, then fine, Justin Fry, you coach them up and quit screwing around. These guys need to be getting the job done by week 6. It hasn't happened yet. PC says it's too late to change personnel. Now it's back to reinforcing fundamentals. Yep. PC says if we lose the game, 100% it will be because of the O-line, probably. Jeremiah says, you tell him, Joe. Can't sugarcoat anything going forward. No. PC also, Day needs to forget the schedule and just sling it, lean into the strengths, wide receivers. I hear you there. I hear you there, PC, on just slinging it. But there is a fair point about Midwest weather, and you never know when one of those Northwestern games is going to creep back up. where you literally can't throw the ball. So you don't want to wait till it's too late and have to rely on the running game, and you guys just can't do it, So I understand the need for Ryan Day to continue to chase this balance, balance on the offense, passing yards, rushing yards, whatever, and play calling. He wants it to be 50-50, run to pass. So I understand the reasoning, and it's true. You are going to need that running game, just like we're going to have to rely on this defense eventually to probably go out there and win us a game. Hell, it could be this weekend. It could be next weekend against Penn State. But we're going to have to rely on aspects of the team, of the game, to win ball games, not just throwing it every time, Kent Smith, anyone else think Lincoln Kienholz wins the job next year? No, I don't. Definitely not. I know it sounds nice to have all the young guys play, but he's not going to be ready. And Kyle's probably coming back. If by odd chance Devin doesn't transfer, he's back. You got Air Noland coming in behind Kienholz. I don't see a world in where Kienholz wins the job next year. No. Billy says you can never feel real confident about your team if the O-line ain't right. Exactly. Yeah. Kind of like the defense, right? Last 2 years, especially 2 years ago in 2021, you can't feel good about any game if you're not outscoring the opponent by like 30 or 40, right? So I don't think we need to worry about winning games by 30 and 40. That's just not this team yet. They don't have it all together. And we're not going to lead the nation in offense and passing yards and scoring and everything. It's not going to happen this year. We're probably going to finish the season where we're at right now, leading the Big Ten in passing and scoring, whatever it is, whatever yardage stat you want to look at. But that's about it. This team is just not all put together yet. So maybe we'll get there, maybe. But leading the country in all offensive categories is probably not an option this year. But on the flip side, we might lead the country in most, or be in the top 5 at least, in most defensive categories. So it's a give and take. I don't mind winning games with a good defense. It's been a long time since we did that at Ohio State, right? Billy says, good point about weather and getting run game right. Joe, Ken Smith, thanks for expanding on that. No problem. Billy, maybe Tavian will give us more of a dual threat at QB. Yeah, maybe. He's pretty athletical. I like Tavian. TSC. So yeah, don't forget, I just want to repeat it, that Friday we'll be doing an early show, like 12:30 or 1 o'clock Eastern. So mark that on your calendars. If you hit that bell, you'll get notified when we're going to go live, and pop in there, have a good time, wear your best dress. We got some, what kind of games do we have coming up this weekend, by the way? Indiana at Michigan, Georgia at Vanderbilt, starting off with a bang here at noon. Buckeyes on the cock. Syracuse at Florida State. Syracuse is 4-2, 0-2 in the ACC, but they like to scare a good team like a Clemson, Florida State every now and then. You got Arkansas at Bama. We got a heavy noon schedule here. Wow. We might have to invoke a third screen. 3 p.m. Cal, Utah, I don't care. UMass at Penn State. Look at Penn State getting a freaking FCS team before they play the Buckeyes. 3:30, you got a good one with Oregon, Washington. 3:30, you got A&M, Tennessee, don't care. Kansas, Oklahoma State, don't care. Louisville, Pittsburgh, don't care. Arizona, Washington State, don't care. Auburn, LSU, don't care. 7:30, USC at Notre Dame. Notre Dame already with 2 losses, but they are favored by a field goal. I'm surprised. I'm definitely taking USC. Road dogs, but much better team, even though their defense sucks. We'll see if Hartman can get the Domers to move the ball. You also got the Canes at North Carolina. Is anybody going to beat North Carolina? It doesn't look that way. They could win that whole damn conference. Favored by 3.5. That's about it. UCLA, Oregon State, don't really care about that. DJU is gone to obscurity in the upper Northwest. Yeah, Billy Tavian is a big boy. I miss Frisch's big boy. I used to love their hot fudge sundaes, man. A big monster goblet. Oh, the best. They had a good hot fudge cake too. It's hard to find a good hot fudge cake. Love Frisch's big boy. I was just watching Austin Powers the other night, the first one, where Dr. Evil takes off in the Frisch's big boy. He escapes. Oh, yeah. Ken Smith says he's taking the 3 points against Notre Dame. That's right. Yeah, USC defense is sus. Jeremiah says the only game I care about is the Ohio State at Purdue. Any other game is subpar this week. Yeah, it's kind of slim pickings out there. I doubt the top teams in the country are going to have much of a challenge. Michigan's favored by 33.5 with the Hoosiers coming in. Yeah, the Buckeyes are still favored by 19.5. Florida State 17.5 over Syracuse. Bama only favored by 20 against Arkansas. That's in Tuscaloosa. Penn State 41.5. Washington favored by a field goal at home versus Oregon. Who you guys like in Oregon, Washington? Who you guys like in that game? Hey, Brandon Wiley, how you doing? Yeah, James Peoples played this past weekend. Had a big day too. Billy says, what's the over-under for ND? Domers. Over-under is 60.5. 6-0. So, yeah. Expecting another defensive struggle there for USC. Not exactly. Billy likes Oregon versus Washington. Okay, so you think they're going to go into to Washington and beat on them, huh? Okay. Husky Stadium. It's supposed to be one of the loudest venues in the country. We'll see if Dan Lanning can play some D. Bo Nix. Does Bo know? Jeremiah says, Michigan versus the Schmoozers, the battle in the toilet bowl. Yeah. Yeah. Will Michigan cover? It's always the question. It's never will they win or lose. It's will they cover? I'm going to wind her down here. My voice is getting a little dry. Yes. This water is not cutting it. We're gonna have to go to some high octane shit. Some brown. All right, boys. Who you got? Oregon, Washington, or Notre Dame, USC? Caleb Williams. I'm still going to ask the question, is Marcus Freeman a good coach? I'm not seeing it. Ken says, hey, what do you think about 25 recruiting starting off slow? What's your feeling on how that class will turn out? I think the 25 class is doing damn well already, honestly. Look for Blake Woodby to commit to the Buckeyes this Saturday. He's a top 100 kid. I like Davian St. Clair, obviously our first commit. Javen Boggs, he's going to rocket up the charts here. He's only in an 89 or something right now. He's going to shoot up those rankings. 6 foot 188. And he's going to be a slot receiver for the Buckeyes. I like this guy. He's got the size, perfect prototypical size, 6 foot 188. As a junior, so he's going to put on a few pounds, and I really like those two guys. So starting off heavy on the offensive side of the ball, but then you got Blake Woodby, the corner, joining the fold. He's a high 4-star, like a 9'6", 96. So number 9 corner in the class. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling real good about it. So it'll start rolling here. We got to button up this 2024 class, though. Hey, folks, hit that like button on the way out the door. Thank you. Billy says USC offensive call sheet is to have Caleb drop back, run around, and make a play. Yes, it's exactly it. Jeremiah says Marcus Freeman is 0-2 versus Ohio State. He's not a good coach. By the way, Oder Lame still has 10 players on the field. Nice. Ken says, I agree about Boggs. All right. Appreciate that, Ken. Hope you join us on Friday at a special time, 12:30 or 1 p.m. Have to adjust for my wife's sister's wedding. Yeah, Friday wedding. Did you get a discount or something? Anyway. Then Sunday, me, Jeff, and Sean will be back Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern here, doing it live as usual. So hope to see you guys then. Keep an eye out for the Daily Blitz. You know it. Got Jim Knowles highlights coming tomorrow. And then Friday will be 5 keys to a Buckeye victory over the makers of Boilers. I don't know. And then instant reaction. I'll release that after the game on Saturday too. See you guys later. Talk to you. Go Bucks.